Hello, I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and today is a follow-on from last week's video on why most people don't get better at golf. And today we're going to look at how you can lower your golf score. So if this is your first time to this channel, welcome. This channel is all about helping you play better golf and of course lowering your golf score. So if you want to do that, consider subscribing to my channel. I release a new video every Monday morning Melbourne time at 9 AM. And it's all about lowering your score and improving your golf. So as I said, today is all about following on from last week, and I'm going to show you how you can lower your golf score without changing your golf swing in any way, shape or form. So stay tuned right to the end of the video. I've got a nice little offer for you that's absolutely free at the end of the video. So the first way we can lower our golf score is to get better at short putting. So not enough people practice short putts, and I wouldn't want you to hit putt after putt after putt from a short putting range. So let's isolate it and we'll say 3-foot putting. So try not to hit 23-foot putts in a row. What I would like you to do is to hit one 3-foot putt in a row, concentrate, line it up, go through your pre-shot routine, make it feel real, and then try and hold the putt. Then go to a different part of the hole or a different direction. So if we were going from the south, now try and go from the north of the hole and put it down as a 3-foot putt. And just practice lining it up, go through your pre-shot routine and just make it feel as real as you possibly can. And go through that routine, have your practice swing, hit the putt. If you miss it, you miss it. If you get it, you get it. Then go to the west of the hole and do the same thing. Go to the east of the hole and do the same thing. So you can hit 23-foot putts quite easily, but you're not doing it from the same spot on the green. You want to make sure that you're training your brain to do it right the first time, not on the 4th, 5th or 6th time. We just don't get that opportunity when we go out on the golf course. So we've got to really train ourselves to get it right. Of course, if you're at home on the carpet, it's not a bad idea to put a coin down. So I would put say a 10-cent piece or whatever currency you're watching this in, just a small coin. And from about 3 foot, try and hit the coin. And as I said, try and go from each side of the coin. Don't just go from the one location. But if you can hit a 10-cent piece or a small coin consistently, a 3-foot putt is going to be really easy for you to make. So my second way of lowering your golf score is to reduce the penalty strokes. Too many golfers ruin their score through penalty strokes. Now, when I say penalty strokes, I'm not just saying when you lose the ball or you hit your ball into a hazard or you take an unplayable lie. I'm calling it that if you're in the trees and you can't advance the ball down in the direction toward the hole and you have to chip out sideways, I'm going to put that in the category of penalty shots. So if we can get used to hitting the ball we don't even have to hit it on the fairway, to be perfectly honest. If we can hit the ball between the trees, that's fine. We don't want to be in the trees. So between the trees is exactly what we want. And if we can do that, we are going to really go a long way to reducing our score. So pay a lot of credence to it. You don't have to hit a driver. Even though length matters, it doesn't always. If you can get the ball on the shorter grass rather than the trees, and we just eliminate penalties. So imagine if I said, here's a pill, take it. Over the next 6 months, you will not have one single penalty stroke. What's going to happen to your score? Of course, it is going to improve. And that's something you can do without changing your swing, change the way you think, change your club. So unfortunately, there are going to be times when we do hit a bad shot, and that shot will put us in trouble. When I'm out on the golf course conducting playing lessons, I just see people trying to do too much with the next shot to recover their bad shot. The smartest thing to do is make sure that you get the ball into play straight away. You've already hit a bad shot. You don't want to compound it by hitting a further bad shot or hitting a fantastic shot that you tried to do too much with and it hit a tree that was a small branch that you were trying to avoid. So don't let one shot cost you 3 or 4 shots. So as soon as you can get the ball back into play, even if it means going backwards, at least you've gone and got the ball back into play. When you're in the trees, try and visualize a target, try and visualize a flagstick in the middle of the fairway where you want to hit to. And just pretend you're hitting a chip shot to that flag. Don't just blaze away and think I'm going to hit it out there somewhere, because invariably you hit it really well and it goes too far and then you're in trees on the other side of the fairway. So really make sure that when you are in trouble, get the next one out so it's only going to cost you one shot. So my fourth strategy for lowering your score is something that I mentioned in last week's video. Hit the shot that you know you can hit. Don't hit the shot that you hope you can hit. If you're standing over the shot thinking, I can only make this 3 out of 10 times, it's not the shot that you should be hitting. You want to know that you can make the shot a lot more often than you're going to miss-hit the shot. So whatever it is, make sure you're totally confident that this is a 7 out of 10 at least shot, preferably higher. If you can get a 10 out of 10, that's even better. But I just can't overemphasize. Hit the shot you know you can hit rather than hit the shot that you hope you can hit. It's just a great strategy, and it is going to save you a ton of shots over the course of a year. And so my fifth strategy for lowering your score is to hit the right club into the green. I see so many people thinking, oh, it's 150 meters. That's my 6-iron. And they're right. When they absolutely hit that 6-iron, their absolute best, it's 150 meters or 165 yards. However, they only do that 1, 2, 3 times out of 10. The rest of the time, they're hitting it a lot less than that. So I see so many golfers wasting shots because they just don't hit the right club. They're worried that, oh, if I hit this club, it's going to go over the back of the green. Well, if we sit back and analyse that most greens are about 30 paces, 30 yards, 30 metres, 27 metres, something like that, in length from front to back. That's actually about 4 clubs difference, because the average distances between clubs are around about 7 metres for the average golfer. They're not 10 that we all think it is. So if you think it's a 7-iron to the front of the green, you've actually got another 4 clubs you can hit to get to the back of the green. So you're not going to hit over the back as often as you think. It's probably a good idea for most people to hit one more than they think. And if you can do that, you are definitely going to lower your score, because then you're going to eliminate a chip shot or a pitch shot or a bunker shot because you're left short. You might also then think, well, I'm on the green, but I've now got a really long putt. So by hitting the right club to the green, you will have a lot less shots during your round of golf. And the thing to remember when you're out watching golf on TV, golf pros have great distance control. They hit the ball the right distance so many times out of 10, it's not funny. So it's not by accident that they make a lot of birdies. Take a leaf out of their book and hit one more than you think. It's a very, very good strategy. So for my fifth strategy of lowering your score, stop pin seeking. Stop aiming at the flagstick. If the flagstick is cut on the left side of the green, you don't want, and there's a big bunker just left of that, you don't want to go in that bunker, you're short-siding yourself. Just imagine you walk up to the green and you put the ball dead smack bang in the center of the green. No matter where that pin placement is, you're going to have a reasonable length putt for your putt. Don't fire at the flags. You'd be surprised how many golf pros don't fire at the flag. I remember Ben Hogan playing the 11th hole at Augusta National. He always said that if ever you see me on the green there for my second, you know I've missed the shot. So he was intentionally aiming to the right of the green because he knew that he couldn't hit it in the water if he hit it down the right. So he's trying to eliminate double bogeys and triple bogeys. So if we can eliminate those sorts of scores, we're going to be better off. So forget there's a flag on the green. Just try and get the ball in the middle of the green. You're definitely going to save shots. You won't short side yourself anywhere near as much, and that is going to be a big help to lowering your score. So for my seventh strategy on lowering your score is just get really good at your long putting and distance putting. The average first putt on the US tour is 30 feet. That's quite some distance, and you can look that up on PGAtour.com and look at all their stats. So the average shot into the green on a par 3 or a par 4, when the player hits the green, the average proximity to the hole is 30 feet. Now that's the best player in the world. I'll bet if the average golfer here knocks it on the green and they have a birdie putt, it's going to be a lot more than 30 feet. But the problem is you don't practice your putting from long distances anywhere near enough. I have so many people coming in telling me that they're putting so bad, they've had so many three putts. When we start saying, what length did you three putt from? They're saying 33, 35, 40 feet. Well, you're going to three putt from there. Get closer to the hole, as I said in a previous tip, hit the ball closer to the hole. That's going to help. But practice your long distance putting. Practice from 15 feet and beyond. And an amazing stat is that from 15 feet, the average club golfer three putts 51% of the time. So even from 15 feet, people three putt because they're trying to get it in and be aggressive. So do a lot of practice, get some distance control. Don't try and smash it. You're trying to roll the ball in the direction of the hole and get really good at practicing those. Even if you don't change your technique and you just practice them, you will definitely get better and that will help lower your score. So my 8th tip for lowering your score is to leave that last bad shot behind. Once you've hit it, hang on to it for about 10 seconds and then just let it go away. You get rid of it out of your head. If you keep that hanging around in your brain, it is going to make your score a lot worse. You've already hit the bad shot. You can't get that back. But what you can do is stop that bad shot from infiltrating the rest of your game and you muttering and cursing for the rest of the round and making the round worse. A really good example is in the last week's US PGA Championship. Brooks Koepka had the field covered and all of a sudden he started to hit a few shots that were less happy. He was able to get rid of those thoughts and not hang on, and in the end he had a nice 2-shot victory. But it's a great example of how when things go sour, don't hang on, because as soon as you hang on to that bad shot and you carry it around with you, it is going to make you hit many more bad shots and will totally ruin your score. So I believe you should hang on to it for no more than 10 seconds and then almost feel like you're just scrunching it up like a bit of paper and you put it in the rubbish bin. And that gets rid of that thought totally. So my 9th tip for scoring better and lowering your golf score is that golf courses are for scoring. You've just got to play the game that gets the ball in the hole for the least amount of strokes. Play less on the range. Get out on the golf course. One of my favourite games is to hit 2 balls off a tee, and traditionally people would go to the worst one that they just hit in the trees, pick it up, put it next to the good one and play 2 shots from there, and they're playing a scramble or an Ambrose event. What I like is the opposite, that you play the worst shot. Then you go and hit 2 shots from that location, and then you go and pick the worst one and you play 2 shots from there. You're going to learn so much more from hitting out of bad positions. The problem is we don't practice getting out of bad positions. The only time we do is when we get into a bad position in the middle of a game of golf. And then you think, well, what do I do now? If you've practiced and you think, oh, I was here in a similar position here the other week when I was out here playing 9 holes, and you've got some confidence that you were able to navigate your way around a golf course, that's going to help. Now, the other thing to think of is I always ask people, where do swimmers train? Swimmers train in the pool. Where do footballers train? They train on the football field. Where do tennis players train? They train on a tennis court. Where do golfers train? Of course, that's the odd one out. They train on a golf range. All of the amazing shots that you see on TV, those incredible recovery shots, none of those were ever learnt on a golf range. Every amazing recovery shot you've ever seen has been learned on a golf course. Get out on the golf course and start discovering how to play golf, or the game of golf, as I quite often say. Don't start playing the game of golf swing. The game of golf is lowest score counts. And my final tip for lowering your golf score is to ban wedge clubs or lofted clubs for chipping. They require the greatest skill set of all, and I've made plenty of videos on how to improve your chipping, but in all honesty, keep the ball along the ground. Don't try and take that aerial route to the flag. Keep it along the ground. Choose a club that makes it run, because it's called a chip and run. It's designed to roll. Let the club do the work. It requires very little skill, and you've seen me use hybrids and even a driver at times. It's just a great way of lowering your golf score. So there you have it. There are my 10 keys to lowering your golf score. Now, if you can do 1 or 2 of them, you're definitely going to lower your score. If you can try and implement all 10 strategies over a period of weeks, I think you're going to find you're going to lower your golf score by quite some margin without having to change your golf swing in any way, shape or form. Now, as I said at the start of the video, I'm going to give you all a bonus. So I've written a report here, which is my 10 keys to scoring. So I'm going to put a link up the top there, and if you want to download it, it's absolutely free. I will never sell it. It's just a free download, and it explains each of those points in a little bit more detail than what I have on the video. And I think you'll find if you do that and you execute the plans according to my little report here, I think you're going to find you're going to have a lot more enjoyable rounds of golf. You're going to be scoring better, and you will not be messing around with swing changes. Thank you for letting me help you with your golf. I'm Brian Fitzgerald, the Golf Doctor, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.